Hi YouTube, it's Lena, and I'm here today with the foundation review. This is a foundation review for the Catrice HD Liquid Foundation. And oh god, I just used it today. I am actually wearing it today. But it is right here. It is the one with the freaking dropper, which I'll get into that in a minute, I promise. So, quick facts, this is $10.99. This is, as far as I know of, at least in the States, this is a European brand. But as far as I know of, this is only available on Ulta's website, at least here in the States. And this is the foundation with 4 shades. Many of us have heard the complaints about this from other people online, is that this brand has garbage shade range. It's just, like, this is the, I have the lightest shade in light beige, and the other 3 shades are named rose beige, sand beige, and warm beige, and they are 4 shades of beige. That the names are correct. And this is honestly a little dark for me. Like, I'm wearing it, but if you compare it to, say, like the back of my hand, let's go with, because if I compare it to the, that's horribly light. But just comparing it to the back of my hand, which is one of the things that sees the most sun due to things like, you know, driving, it's still really friggin' dark. So this has a garbage shade range. This really needs to be improved. And that is not my only issue with it though. This foundation, one thing, I hate this packaging. I hate this. Like, in theory, it's more sanitary than just having an open bottle, but I'd rather have an open bottle than this nonsense. Like, this is really liquidy, as I hope you can see. So I get the idea of the dropper. However, if you are not paying attention, this sucker will drip on you. I got this all over one of my foundations, I got this foundation all over one of my shirts one day while getting ready, because normally I put on like a tank top or something to get ready, and because I'm kind of messy with my makeup, I spill crap. That's who I am. But I was doing the stupid thing too. Like, this was partially my fault. I was doing the Instagram thing where people like drip stuff on their face, and I just was in a hurry. I wasn't paying attention to really what I was doing. Splattered it all over my shirt. Don't apply this like that. Put it on the back of a brush or a sponge, or even like doing it on the back of your hand if you're mixing with things. I did not actually test mixing this with things because this foundation aggravated the daylights out of me. But one of the things that ended up really aggravating me about this was that this does not work with a silicone primer. This literally fell off my face with a more silicone textured primer. Now, saying that, I decided to stop. This actually works amazing. Well, amazing. It works really good with their Prime and Fine anti-shine base. Like this, come on camera. It works fine with their primer. Now, I will insert the price of this right here because I don't know it off the top of my head and I forgot to look it up. This is a really good primer if you have oily skin. Now, once I wore it with this primer, this lasted all day. It worked out great. If I wore this with a silicone primer or by itself, like I do my picture tests with no primer on underneath, no pore filling primer, no shine protecting primer, none of that. My face hates this without a primer. Like, between the 4-hour and 8-hour picture, I was a giant grease ball and I had to blot down every time. And I got like blotting sheets full of oil, so not cute. But this does give good coverage. I'm actually not wearing any concealer on some issues that I'm having with my face right now. I'm wearing some under my eyes, but I'm not wearing any on my face. This actually does give good coverage. It says that it covers imperfections and mattifies the skin. It says it is ultra lightweight, high coverage. Now, I've mentioned before, when I think true high coverage foundation, I think like Estee Lauder Double Wear, like gives you almost a masked appearance, for better or worse, if you like that or not. I think this is more medium to maybe even buildable high coverage, which I prefer a more medium coverage. I don't want a high coverage because that kind of freaks me out. So I will show you the picture of pre-makeup Jessica and then post-makeup Jessica right here. And then, like I said, I will insert the no hours wearing it, the 4 hours wearing it, and the 8 hours wearing it. And as you can see, this makes me hella greasy. It says it's high coverage matte with a natural looking finish, but it mattifies the skin. So this foundation claims to be ultra lightweight, which at least putting it on, I agree. High coverage, you can definitely build it up to high coverage, and a natural looking finish. And it does kind of do that natural matte thing, at least at first, which is really nice to look at. It's, you know, once I get into wearing it for 4 to 8 hours, unless I'm wearing some very specific primers underneath, that this starts to break down. It does not transfer. Like when I was blotting it down, it didn't transfer down onto my blotting sheets. If I touched my face, it did not come off. These are all very good things. Now, something I want to mention. I've heard this mentioned by several people that this is actually a dupe for the Fenty Beauty foundation. I really want to try the Fenty Beauty foundation, but because I had to be very specific with this foundation, I don't know if I necessarily want to try it now. Now, maybe the Fenty Beauty works better. I don't know that. I've never tried it. I would have to get a sample of it. Honestly, though, if you like the Fenty Beauty and you're thinking, oh, I'll just get this as a dupe, I'd honestly say stick with the damn Fenty Beauty. At least you can get your shade in the Fenty Beauty, because 4 shades of beige really doesn't work for anybody, but Fenty Beauty has 40 shades, I believe. From the very, very light to the very, very deep. So sometimes you get what you pay for, and with Fenty Beauty, if that style of foundation works for you, I know it doesn't work for everybody, then you can, it's much, much easier to get a shade that matches you rather than the Catrice, which has 4 shades of beige. So that is it. I hope this was helpful for you. Like I said, if you like at least starting mattifying foundation and you're willing to be a little more specific with your primer underneath, like I said, their primer actually works great with it. This could in theory work for you, but the whole shade range thing kind of infuriates me, and like I said, I don't like having to be that picky about my primers, so I don't know if I would necessarily keep this, especially since this is not really my shade. So that is it. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I do really appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you later. Bye!